The diagram showing the windows, where they go, which side, where they go in the gable, and so on, is good for design, but it's not precise enough for cutting wood, and it's not precise enough to prepare a shopping list. So this is just a sample of what I did from a spreadsheet. So if we look at, say, the southwest side upper, there's a list there of the components as you move horizontally from the left edge to the right edge. Say there's a 2x4, 3.8 centimeters. There's the number 4 window, 138.5 centimeters. Then there's a vertical, there's a 2x4 in there, but at 5.54 centimeters, it's going to take more than one 2x4. And so the next column where it says 2x4 is needed, there'd be two 2x4s. Two 2x4s would be 2 times 3.8, so I'm going to have to plane one of those 2x4s to get exactly 5.54. Then comes the number 6 stained glass window, which, if it's the size the seller says, recall we haven't actually gone to pick it up yet, so I can't measure it. But anyway, she says it's 70.08 centimeters. Another vertical of 5.54, another number 4 window, another 2x4 for a total of 365.76, which is exactly 12 feet. It wasn't 12 feet the first time I typed the numbers into the spreadsheet, but I calculated the two verticals at 5.54, and that made it come out to exactly 12. And similarly, I did an exercise on the lower part of the southwest wall and all the other walls. From all those calculations, I prepared the shopping list, which is what I took to the big box store. So you can see 35 2x4s, 6 2x4x10s, and so on. Now I am back from the big box lumberyard with all of the wood for the lower part of the greenhouse, everything except the roof. So let's move in closer. In the bottom of the 35 2x4s for the principal framing, and then sticking out are the 12-foot 4x6s that'll be used for the foundation, and a bunch of other miscellaneous pieces. Since the sides of the greenhouse are 12 feet long, we need 12-foot 2x4s for the long pieces, and I got those. In addition, I got a bunch of screws and other miscellaneous items. So I'm set to unload the trailer and begin laying out the exact location of the greenhouse. All right, well, I have unloaded the trailer, stacked the wood up here in the driveway, and we then started to come up with the exact location of the greenhouse in the driveway. And as I mentioned, the shadow from this tree is minimal, and there's another tree here where we get a shadow later in the day. It's July. In the winter, which is when the greenhouse is most important, the sun is much, much lower in the sky. And I have these boards here. Now these are oriented north-south, so the camera is now facing pretty much due south. There, due south leads directly to the tree, and the sun basically would be behind the tree for a good part of the day. This one here is slightly better, but still not so good. So rather than take a chance at something that seems a little bit iffy, we've decided to locate the greenhouse in a completely different place in the yard, and I will now walk over there. When we bought the house, it came with a garden. Was already here, surrounded with wire. We've improved it by putting in the raised beds and supplementing the wire with hardware cloth. But this garden is located in really a great spot. It's basically sunny all the time. So we've decided to put the greenhouse next to the garden. And this is the location. And this is now lined up on an east-west axis, which means that the direction that the camera is facing is due south. And if we follow that up, we have clear sky. There are these trees there, but they are much farther away than the tree near the driveway. And I'm not sure that even in the winter the shadow of these trees will hit the greenhouse. And even if it does, that will just be for a small part of the day and towards the end of the day when the sun is setting pretty rapidly. So here is our location for the greenhouse. Let me back up a little bit. Now these boards aren't part of the greenhouse construction. That's just basically a giant framing device that I can use, and Valerie and I can use to site the greenhouse, which we've done. We've squared it up and we've leveled it. The greenhouse is not going to be supported by a bunch of random wood scraps, but I just wanted to get an idea of how hilly this particular part of the property is. And this will all be fixed. So we're going to have some young boys, or men, older boys, still in high school, but they're running a landscaping business, so they worked with us before. They're going to put in 9 piers that are made of 12-inch sonotubes filled with concrete to a depth of maybe 36 inches, which will be below the frost line. And each sonotube will terminate with a bolt at the top. The sonotubes will all be level, and then I can bolt those big 4x6 beams that you saw in the driveway and on the trailer to the sonotubes, and that will create the base for the greenhouse. Although since we're not on the driveway, there's no floor, so I will in effect create a deck, and the floor of the greenhouse will be decking. It won't be gravel or dirt or anything like that. It'll be a deck. So we'll see that as the project proceeds.